Hi, welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. This is going to be my opinion of the new Disney Plus show called Ahsoka. Um, I call it my opinion because I'm not really a reviewer. I'm not a fanboy of Star Wars. I do enjoy it, but I enjoy science fiction, and Star Wars is a portion of that. I have read Star Wars universe books and enjoyed them. One of the characters, they're not present in the first two episodes, is Admiral Thrawn, and I read a series of books by an author called Timothy Zahn and really enjoyed them. However, I think they strayed from his books in the material. I've watched all the movies, watched The Mandalorian and Obi-Wan on Disney Plus. Obi-Wan was a major disappointment for me. Um, yeah, just I liked the character, enjoyed the character, and it was crap. And the Mandalorian first two seasons were good for me, and the third season, yeah, not so much. But they again were getting away from the character. So that's my background in Star Wars. So I thought I would be honest with you and let you know. But I am not, like I said, a fanboy or somebody who just needlessly rips things apart. My opinion is this is enjoyable. I enjoyed the first two shows. It looks and feels and tastes and smells like Star Wars, and I like that. There's lots of lightsaber wielding, so that's good. The cast, in most cases, is good. Um, Although I would say, again, as a nitpick, that maybe some of them should have trained a little bit harder on the moves needed to be in a lightsaber fight, because some of it looks good and some of it looks like two actors on a stage. But anyways, minor point. Um, The writing is good. Uh, the other negative is that they really assume that people have seen Rebels and Clone Wars animated series, and I would even say the one episode of The Mandalorian, The Jedi, it's called, where Rosario Dawson appears as Ahsoka. They don't tell you who these people are. If you haven't seen the Rebels and Clone Wars, and I've only seen half them, you're gonna be who's that kind of thing. You won't know who they are. You can still enjoy it because it is Star Wars and it is science fiction-y, but it's going to take you a while sort of to catch up, and they don't really explain anything. They just assume, and that is probably where some of the critics who are negative on the series, if they're justified in saying it, I don't know if that was the right way to do it. They could have done it better to do it. Anyways, so we start off. I'll give you a little rundown, but trying not to spoil it too much. Uh, Starts off well. Spaceship, the main baddie, Ray Stevenson, and Ivana, who plays his sidekick, appear pretending to be Jedi. You don't really know what they are, if they're Sith or what. Although he does mention getting paid, so maybe they're just simply mercenaries that were Jedi at one point, but they show up on the show and they go through the crew on the ship that they board like butter, just to um, rescue this one arrested character called Morgan Elsbeth, and she was in the Mandalorian episode. Otherwise, I don't know how you would know who she is, but just they rescue some woman, or well, they break them out of prison, I guess you could say. But the lightsaber combat in that episode, again, very Star Warsy in look and feel. The combat is good. Enjoyed it. Um, yeah, it's good. The one negative thing, though, suddenly the Force can open doors. Never thought that was a thing before, but apparently it works. Maybe I just missed where that was in in any of the materials that I've seen. But they rescue you or break her out of prison, and that's a very good start to the series. The next is major scene they jump to is Ahsoka on this planet. She does a really cool spin with lightsabers to cut a hole and drop into a lower level. And she's looking for something. And at that point, they start playing really dramatic music for what turns out to be her turning a few dials to line some things up. And it's kind of like that would have been where I would have spent some time just having her talk out loud to herself to explain. There's pictures on the wall of characters that you're, I guess, supposed to know. I didn't know who they were. You could have filled in some background there, Mr. Producer, Dave Filoni. Anyways, she finds what she's there to get. She goes to leave, and there's 4 or 5. I can't remember exactly how many assassin droids there. Why droids need to wear capes is beyond me. It's kind of like the cowl. All the characters have a hooded cloak, and it's the only purpose for them wearing them is so that they can pull them back from their face to dramatically reveal who they are. Because otherwise, I don't know why you would need a cloak with a hood. Anyways, the same for these droids. Half them have like a cloak, and it's like, oh, okay, whatever. Guess droids get cold. But good battle between Ahsoka and these droids. Really interesting how she handles them. The ones that she gets rid of, the other ones self-destruct, and you might have seen the trailer where she's running and there's a big cloud of rolling explosion. She makes it off the planet, and you meet this other droid, which you're supposed to know him. I don't remember him from any of the materials, but apparently he's a droid that's been in the Rebel animated Rebels. So the droid itself is very well done. Its movements look good, and the voice is good coming out of it. But I had no idea who this droid was. But yeah, it's good. They jump to another planet. There's some kind of ceremony, but you see that there is basically at the end. I did see the last episode of Rebels, and there was a mural of all the characters. They got that mural right in the show, so that shows you how deeply Rebels is ingrained in this. Um, Ahsoka goes and meets a general who is out of Rebels, and oh great, great, then let's go talk to Sabine, and Sabine is out of Rebels, and Sabine is looking at a hologram of another character, Ezra, out of Rebels. If you didn't see Rebels, you would not know what's going on here. But anyways, it still is enjoyable. They do a bunch of stuff. There's a scene where Sabine's character is running one of those like flying bikes, motorcycles. It's kind of cool there. She lives in an abandoned antenna, like big tall antenna tower. I'm told that's from Rebels, so okay. Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was just a cool place. But anyways, her and Ahsoka, I guess, were being Master and Padawan, they called them. But something happened. They don't ever say for sure, other than they walked away from it. But they are not together as teacher and pupil. But they go to her because she's a bit of a techie, Sabine, this is, to try to unlock this key that Ahsoka found. And then um, basically Sabine takes it home and gets robbed by the bad Jedi apprentice. And part of that she gets after decent battle, although the cameraman loves to do close-ups of people's faces inside cross lightsabers. They did that about 4 or 5 times. It's like, yeah, okay, it's a nice shot, but you don't have to do it every time. Anyways, Sabine gets run through with a lightsaber at the end of the first episode, and that's another thing that's kind of annoying. And they did that in Obi-Wan too. Apparently, running a razor hot poker through somebody is doesn't hurt them, or doesn't. I guess if you miss all the vital organs, it might be okay. But yeah, uh, that's the end of the first episode. In the second episode, Sabine is recovering in hospital. So apparently, it doesn't hurt that much, which is strange. Um, they get some information. The baddies have the key, so they determine where they're going to go to get Thrawn, Admiral Thrawn, character from the books again. And then Ahsoka goes to this place where they're tearing apart Death Stars or Star Cruisers or whatever, and there's kind of a good situation there. And they get in another nice lightsaber battle between Ahsoka and someone who is, I think they call them Inquisitors in Rebels. Basically, they were also in this Obi-Wan series, but they're ex Jedi. So, anyways, they have two lightsabers on this spinning thing, which is a thing I kind of think it's kind of dumb. But the battle is interesting and well done, and of course they escape because the show would be pretty short if they captured them, but they escape. But again, this big, massive yard where they're tearing apart Star Destroyers, really well done. Yeah, it just looked so good. Um, the general character, she's trying to go and plant a tracker on this piece of equipment's being stolen. They introduce this droid called Chopper from Rebels. That I knew because I always thought he was kind of an annoying character in Rebels. But anyways, he's a very human-like droid, but like an R2D2 type droid, like a trash can size droid. He has these little arms coming over his head that he waves around constantly. But he's yeah, it's pretty well done. He's trying to find where this tracker is, and he's going through junk in his box, and yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It was a little humorous, not as funny as I think they wanted it to be, but it was humorous. So and then yeah, that's kind of the end of it. Sabine and Ahsoka go back to being teacher pupil. Um, Sabine is a Mandalorian, like the Mandalorian, so she gets her armor out and her helmet. Again, that was from Rebels, so that's something that was expected. She wasn't wearing that at the start, so yeah, that's it. That's my thoughts. I would recommend it to you if you like science fiction and Star Wars science fiction in particular. I think you will enjoy it. Again, it's not perfect, but it's not bad and pretty well written, pretty well acted. Um, CGI looks good. It looks like the Star Wars universe. Yeah, I would recommend this. So that's my opinion. I hope that will help people if you're on the fence about whether seeing it or not. Sadly, if you don't have a Disney Plus account, you're not going to be able to see it right at this point. So sorry. Okay, thanks.